Doing samosas from scratch. You can see I put my meat and all my onions and all the spices. I'll tell you the spices I've used. They're all mixed up now. I have used coriander seeds, turmeric, and the rest. So and I put some meat in here. So make sure this meat, once it's cooked, is put on the side to cool down, and I might put some peas with it. So it's not cooked yet, but yeah, I'll be making samosa this evening for tea. In English we call it tea here in England, but it is when you call it afternoon tea in Africa. But actually, to be honest with you, in England dinner is called tea, lunch is called dinner, and then this will be our tea because we eat only like cakes or savory, and that is it. Yeah, so this will be my samosas made ready for that tea. This is the meat. I've not done the pastry yet. I'm going to show you how I'm going to make the pastry. I put some seeds in my pastry as well to make the pastry. Yeah, the process is going on. I'm supposed to go to work for charity and I'm rushing out. But this will be made when I come back. This will be the water which I'm going to be using to make the dough for laba chapati. Gundi ngane kola chapati naye kati eno yenkozesa okukola ki okukola sumbusa covers. These I don't really remember their name, I'm sorry, but I use these mainly to put in. They're not coconut oil, please forgive me. Can't see them what they look like. I'll show you. Steve, can you come and open this, please? So I'll show you. So I have sunflower oil, normal salt, sea salt, and now I have my beans. It's all done, beans. The one I'm going to use in the cooking of this, please. So it is all done. So this will be my filling. I may make some few peas to add on it because I love this texture when the peas are in there. You bite into your sambusa. So what I do, I put meat at the beginning when I've rolled up. You know, when you make that that cover for the sambusa, depending which country you come from, everybody makes it different. Some people make it square, some people make it triangle, some people make it wood. Everybody makes it different. I've traveled around the world. I know exactly what I'm talking about. People make sambusas different ways, but it's all the same thing. You're feeling it with them. So I wanted to show you these little seeds. They come from Asia, India. They're very, 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 very. They give you the best scent in your cooking. I'm going to find out the name. Please, this is not my last time I've made sambusas. My sambusas today, if you're Muslim, forgive me, but they're made with beef, mince, and pork. Next time I'll make you lamb and maybe beef or pork. So I always mix my meat when I'm making sambusas. So this is what, so I'll scoop something like that, and that will be flavored in the samosa. I'll show you the process. And yeah, that's my water where I'm going to make my dough. So I'm making this soak in here because at the moment I'm going to work for charity. This will be done when I come back. So the meat has the time to cool down. I'll be at charity work for 2 hours, and then this is my flour I'll use, and I use that flour and sea salt. Actually, I've already put sea salt and but I need to put the cooking oil in here. Although in here I've used olive oil. You know the reason why? The reason is olive oil doesn't work very well with flour when you're making a dough, but olive oil works very well with things you're cooking. I've never found out there's a scientific reason. I am not a scientist, and I'm not going to start here, sit down and lie to you that I know the reasons. I don't, but it doesn't. They have cooked long enough to know the difference when you touch the dough. So the dough will not form properly if you use a olive oil in the dough, but sunflower, vegetable oil, it's okay. That is my experience. You have your own experience. Please share with me. How do you find it? How do you work with it? What do you make different to make it different from what I am experiencing? So those are onions, but actually, to be honest with you, I think I will introduce some peas if I had time, which I don't. I would introduce peas with potatoes, chopped up small potatoes, but I will only introduce peas. Oh, samosas taste nice if you bite into meat and then in the middle there is a filling of peas. It balances out the meat. So yes, we'll be cooking after I've driven the ambulance. I'm going to work. And yeah, so I'll speak to you soon. You take great care. All the best. Yes, enjoy Sunday. Everything is cooking. Oh, by the way, I've not shown you my casserole. Look how it looks. My casserole. Yeah, so when I come back, this casserole will be ready to eat. Sorry, everything is thinning out. Most of the family will be having just steak with roasted potato, but I have my in-laws, they have a problem. They can't eat steak. They can eat steak, but cooked in this format. You can cook steak in this format. You can say this is a steak. This is steak cooked in this format because I want it to be soft for them, so they can enjoy the meal. I don't have to make sure grandparents are not welcome because they have a problem with their dental structures. Maybe I want to be polite. Please don't quote me wrong. But yes, they have a problem with the dental structure. They only eat very, very soft meat. And as you can see, that juice is quite runny. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pour granules in. I could have made gravy from flour and everything, but as I'm going to work for charity at the moment, I will only use the granules, forgive me. Yes, this is the one I use. You can tell me which one you use, which method did you use. Normally when I don't do that, I use either flour, normal flour, plain flour. I'll put it on the stove. I'll as dry, but in the pan, brown it a little bit, and then I cool down some of this gravy, and then I pour on it, and then I put it back in here. But sometimes I use a corn flour. So it's too white because then it turns the gravy to look a different color. This sauce has my wine in it, and I want it to look beef and all that. So you can see how it is thickened now. It is thickened. It's not ready to eat until another 2 to 3 hours, but it has to cook that slow. That's why it is called a slow cooker. That's all that. I'm thinking that my slow cooker, this is a very best friend of mine. Within 2 hours, I leave my husband instructions. What he has to do, he will have to turn this down. Turn it down because now this meat will be cooked, but it has to still warming, and that even makes the meat go softer and softer and softer. So when I have worries about people who can't eat meat which is not well cooked, is not well cooked. It is cooked, but it's not as tender as I wish it to be. So yes. advise me which equipment to use to do your slow cooking. I do some of my slow cooking in the oven. Yeah, this is my meat from my samosas, as I've told you already. And this is the spices I've used. I've used so many spices, I've already shown them to you. That is my oil I've used in samosas. And then I have used sea salt. These spices are the ones I've gone in there. That's what I've used to make the dough for samosas. Join me when you're having samosas, please. Many thanks.